Oh wait, I gotta turn this on.
It should be on. It's got a dim green light there.
Yeah, it's on. Okay. You holding this?
I mean, will it pick that up?
Mine's on. Mine didn't.
Check, check. Can y'all tell? Is there anybody up there that could give us like a...
Use the magnet on it. Pick that on one side and one on the other.
Okay, all right.
It's alright, dude.
I can tell it's on. It's just...
Sometimes that's a different.
Just cuts between 1 and 2. Just cuts between 1 and 2.
He's on the way.
At this point, just point to us and we'll start whenever you're ready.
Sir?
Whenever y'all are ready, just point to us and we'll start. Okay.
Scoot over. Scoot it over.
Over there on the sideline.
Good evening. Welcome back to Mesmer Stadium for tonight's homecoming matchup on LCP TV between the Timberwolves and the Loyola Flyers. Tonight's homecoming festivities tonight. Joined by former coach, former All-State kicker Michael Mitchell. Dartmouth Blitz 5-1 season, 1-0 in district. The Flyers 2-3, coming off a win last week against Green Oaks, 1-0 in district. Big matchup tonight. Michael, let's give us a recap on what's happened over the last month for Flyer football.
Oh, man. Much time you got. It's been crazy. 3 games. It was such a relief going into that bye week before they won that one. So believe it or not, we'll start it off as a 0-3 season their way or in a position to win their don't want to get far ahead of ourselves here, but we are getting to somewhat, more of the winnable games on our side. With a few, could even find ourselves in 4-3. But first, we got to take care of Darvin Woods.
Offensively for the Flyers, they started the season a lot of veteran leadership at the wide receiver position, at the running back position, but a lot of youth has developed over the last few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things that after the Green Oaks game, Coach Green, rightfully praised Coach Sella and the offensive staff for putting together a plan. I mean, think about this: no John Carmody for the second half. Trace Wall was in street clothes. John Ebar didn't make the trip. Brooks is out for the year. Jude's out for the year. So, I mean, they're really, even though it's week 6 or the 6th game of the year, this is an offense that Coach Sella is really still kind of like, what can we do with the guys we have? What are they comfortable with? What can they execute? Because, over the summer when you kind of know who you got and who you can count on, and now it feels like they're kind of starting over because you've got receivers and backs who are kind of subs and backups a few weeks ago. Some of the guys that have really stepped up, Reagan Coral, great athlete. He was on kickoff return as a freshman, so I remember his skill set very well. But he's kind of out of position as a running back. He's, their third string in theory. Mason Drake, freshman. It's not ideal to have a freshman playing and asking a lot of them, but Mason has done nothing but step up. He got his first varsity touchdown last week, which was pretty cool. So Mason, I've seen Mason tote the rock for the Jets. I've seen him do it in the JV games, and he's a very talented running back that Loyola is going to lean on for years to come.
Yeah, and it's nice that Coach Sella and Coach Green have Cooper DeFata, a veteran quarterback, a senior that's been in the program for a long time, running the offense. Defensively and special teams, that's kind of been the calling cards the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we got to talk about the defense a little bit here. In the 3 losses that Loyola's had, they were averaging, giving up 43 points a game. In the 2 wins, just under 10 points a game. So, and that's really what we need to see from when we talk about the offense and who's missing, who's out, but it's the defense that really has an opportunity to make a difference, keep the game manageable. I feel like if they can keep, opponents from scoring, 2 or fewer touchdowns a game, which is definitely asking a lot in this day and age, but let's be honest, this team is not built to come from behind. They're not built to play in a shootout. So, if the defense can continue to hold their own, led by my boy, fellow Steeler fan, Gray Deason, who is leading the team in tackles, and he's among the city leaders. Rowan Gudakonda has stepped up big. He's got 38 tackles on the year. And also, kind of a side note here, Patrick Gosley, sophomore, is making his first start tonight on defense. In fact, I've watched Patrick play in the JV game against Green Oaks, and I didn't even know he was back. I knew he was struggling. He's been through a lot, fighting through injury. And when he came back, and I was watching the Green Oaks JV game, I was like, man, who's that 42 flying all over the field? And so that's Patrick Gosley. I was like, man, he looks good. I thought that he was wearing 42, which kind of had shades of Ian Birch coming back, and I thought maybe he drove over from Ruston. But I think Patrick can be a real difference maker on this defense. And I know you hit on the special teams, and I got to give Coach – yeah, I got all excited here.
I thought I was very pleased. I thought the guys played very hard, and considering we had some guys out and some things, even the second half we had guys and we were trying to scramble, getting people in. I can see us progressing each week, and I think the biggest jump was that Green Oaks game. I could tell they were locked in, they played hard. I was very pleased. Not a lot of spread teams like taking it and driving it down the field. They want to get that big one. Sometimes they get frustrated, start throwing it up, and then we get sacks and we can blitz. It really went well. I hope we can keep it going into this week. I was that pleased with the whole overall effort. Yeah, it's been very interesting. They're tough. They run it between the tackles. It's nothing fancy. They're going to line up and pretty much what they're going to run by their alignment. They throw it 3 or 4 times a game, and it's usually play action. They'll try to pop you up top because you really have to play some coverages to get some extra people in the box. So, You know, if a corner goes to sleep, you know, they can hit you. But it's definitely, now I think we'll be able to move the ball on them. I think we will be able to move it. It's just when we do get those touches, we need to be able to capitalize on them. We were talking yesterday, you know, they don't beat themselves. We hadn't seen a fumble. We hadn't seen the interception. You're going to have to beat them. It's one of those, and I like that. I mean, you've got to go out and beat them. They're not going to make mistakes and give you an easy touchdown. I think there's so many distractions in kids' daily life now, really all the time. There's so much going on that it really, you know, like I tell them, have fun, but you better play your behind hard. You know, you can, and that's what we always teach is flipping that switch. And whether you go into everyday life, you know, for 2 hours, you need to be able to flip that switch and get after it and then turn it off. So, you know, that's why I've really never, homecoming, we played good on homecoming before, we played not so good, so I don't worry too much about it. Yeah, I'm pleased with where we are right now, and you know, if you're used to making the playoffs like we are, those first 10 games are to get you seeded, and then it's when the real season starts. So, and that's what we preach every day. These games are to try to get better and better and do some things that we give us a chance in the playoffs.
PTV pregame show for tonight's homecoming matchup between the Dartmouth Woods Timberwolves and the Loyola Flyers. Before we went to commercial break and before we get to the interview with Coach Mike Green, we were giving some emphasis on the special teams and what that's been for the Flyers this year.
Yeah, I got to give Coach Lewis a lot of credit. I know he puts a lot of work in. I can tell you personally, having worked with him for a few years, he cares very much about this phase of the game. You know, first game of the season against Captain Shreve, it was a little rough. They lost the field position battle, which hurt them a lot. But I've been there before as a coordinator. It's usually pretty rough week one. It only gets better through time. I noticed their coverage units have gotten a whole lot better. That's got a lot to do with coaching, getting the right people in place, coaching them up on how to break down. And it was really very apparent last week against Green Oaks. You've covered a lot of games with me against Green Oaks over the years. Personally, I've coached against them. No team makes me more nervous than Green Oaks because even if they don't have a great team, they've always got that one dude who can take it to the house at any time when you least expect it. A 12-point lead against Green Oaks never feels safe, and the Flyers did a great job of keeping a close game from becoming a shootout. You know, again, credit the coaches and the players on that. Gray Deason has done a terrific job. He looked like a first-year punter the first game of the season. As the weeks gone on, he's gotten better and better. I would say the last couple of weeks, he's been very much an asset for special teams. He's flipped the field. He's pinned the opposing offense inside the 20 several times. And when you've got this many players out and you're counting on several two-way players, you've got to give that defense a long field to work with, and nobody understands that more than Gray Deason. Evan Lorette's getting better every week. You can see the confidence building as he's getting more game experience. And so going back to, well, what do the Flyers need to do well? They've got to win on defense and special teams while the offense figures things out and tries to piece together some points here and there.
Yeah, the Dartmouth Woods beat Lakeside last week, 45-22. The Flyers beat Green Oaks 30-12. Dartmouth Woods, we don't know much about them. It's actually the first meeting between the Flyers and the Timberwolves in history. We're going to hear from Coach Green in a second, but what are your thoughts on tonight's matchup?
Well, what I do know about Dartmouth Woods is I've heard comparisons to Bird. They just don't do it as well as Bird in the sense that they run, and they pass just often enough to keep you honest. I've heard mixed reviews as far as how well they do it. We'll find out tonight.
Yeah, watching them in warm-ups, they obviously have some skill guys, some size, but you know, it's interesting going up against a team that's got some veteran players first. The Flyers are playing a lot of young guys, so it'll be interesting to see. We're going to go to an interview with Coach Mike Green, and we'll be back as we get ready for tonight's homecoming matchup. You're watching the pregame show on LCP TV.
LCP TV is brought to you by the Loyola Media Arts class. Calling the game tonight in the booth are John Carmody and David Winkler on the sidelines, halftime.
tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
The hold is good, and the kick is good. Touchdown, Loyola! Throws and it's intercepted! Touchdown, Loyola! And he's under pressure. He's gonna be blocking. He looks downfield and that pass is complete. Touchdown! Touchdown! District on three. 1, 2, 3. District!
Homecoming night, and we're going to give each of our own kind of final thoughts on homecoming. What's a memory you have from playing under the lights at homecoming?
Oh, my memory was, let's see, my last year, 1994. We had Homer in our district. They were a district rival. They had beat us all 3 years before that. And to actually have a spark, believe it or not, I had a mop on my head back then. And I left a note in the locker room. I said, if we beat Homer, I will shave my head. I must have really liked shaving my head even now. So we win the game 14-13. I had 2 extra points. My buddy has a stop on a 2-point conversion to secure the win for us. I shaved my head. Some dude slid into me, bruised up my ankle, so I was on crutches for my homecoming date. But all in all, a good weekend. How about you?
Mine is junior year. We're playing Red River at home. I kick a field goal to go up by 1, I believe, with maybe about a minute or 2 left to go.
Do you remember how far it was?
41 yards, 42 yards.
Nice.
And we have Red River pinned deep, 3rd and long, 4th and long, and they throw like a 90-yard touchdown pass, win the game, we lose homecoming. But we should have a better night tonight as we get ready to send it up to the booth with David Winkler and John Carmody in about a minute. But no, great night for football. It's homecoming. It's also the Hall of Honor. We'll bring all that to you when we come back at halftime. But for Michael Mitchell, I'm Art Carmody. We're going to be sending it up to the 2 men calling tonight's game, David Winkler and John Carmody. They're 2 of the best in the city at doing what they do. And you're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.
You came home from work with a migraine. Your son has a sore throat on a Saturday. You need care right now. Christus Health has affordable, convenient, on-demand care because you don't always get sick during doctor's hours. Help is in the palm of your hand. You can reach our clinicians within 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Visits for residents of Texas and Louisiana over age 5 cost $30. Christus Health, on demand, because we're here for you wherever here is. You came home from work with a migraine.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport-Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
Son and come together for this contest. We ask you to bless these athletes, keep them safe from injury and harm, instill in them respect for each other, and reward them for their perseverance. Lead us all to the rewards of your kingdom where you live and reign forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And now, here is Senior Genevieve Carmody with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread like a wave, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And with that, welcome to Messmer Stadium. My name is David Winkler. I'm joined by the proud papa of the young lady that just sang our national anthem, Genevieve Carmody, John Carmody, my partner for many, many years now. Thanks to Michael and Art, who did a great job pregame before the game. John, we're ready to get this thing kicked off. The Flyers 2-3, coming off a big win versus Green Oaks.
after a slow start to the year in a tough part of their schedule, the Flyers have rebounded and fought through injuries, John, to win their last 2 games. And tonight they're going to take on a 5-1 Darbon Woods Timberwolves team that comes in here with all the momentum in the world in a big District 1-2A clash.
Yeah, David, you talked about it early that really the first part of the Loyola season, they were playing up in class. And, Mike Green was quoted as saying, he really wanted these power points and in the upper competition to get the team ready if they weren't getting hurt through the games. Well, sadly, they've had some injuries, and it certainly has kind of led to substitution of substitution. But again, the great thing about being at this level, at a 2A level, is you got to be ready to play. And it doesn't matter what level you are, senior down to freshman. There's an opportunity for you to play. The greatest example of that was last week. Freshman Mason Drake had to come in and play running back and played admirably through that game and even scored his first high school touchdown. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what Mike Green has in store about plugging in the pieces of the team that are missing and where we go from here the rest of the season.
The Flyers will receive the opening kickoff, and John, you touched on it. The Flyers are going to be missing a number of players tonight, and several probably for the rest of the season, including leading rusher Trace Wall, leading receiver John Carmody. But they will have starting quarterback Cooper DeFatta. He's been kind of the constant in the offense throughout the season. He's second on the team in rushing. Now, of active players, he'd be the leader in rushing right now on the Flyer roster. He'll be joined on the defensive side by Gray Deason, who leads the team with 61 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss. Darbon Woods, they like to run the ball, John, and they're going to be led by Carlos Alejo, senior running back. You're going to see him carry the ball a lot tonight. And they're going to run a unique offense by Coach Tommy Tharp. He runs what he likes to call the dragon wing offense. It's a single wing offense, kind of a hybrid of it. And I think you'll probably get a kick out of seeing them do some innovative things tonight. So Flyers and Timberwolves, here we go from Messmer Stadium. Game time temp right now, 77 degrees. Wind 6 miles an hour out of the south. Should be light and variable the rest of the night. 27% humidity, great night for football. Flyers are going to take the kick on the 15. And with a nice return, that's going to be Grayson Hutchins, finally knocked out of bounds. Looks like they're going to mark him up at the 38-yard line. And that's where the Flyers will have it, 1st and 10.
Right there you can kind of see how this game is going to be played. One of the Darbon Woods players, you could tell, was kind of coming in as the wedge buster, and he certainly came down full steam.
All right, and real quick, we've got the starting offense for the Flyers.
DeFatta is the ball carrier.
Andrew DeFatta, First Baptist Church.
Tackled by Valerio.
Jackie Barb, CML.
It's a gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Jack Jesse, First Baptist Church. Alex Horton, St. Joseph's. Robert Pavin, the St. Mark's Cathedral School. Rowan Githiconda, St. Mark's University. Chris Hutchins, St. Joseph's Catholic School. First Baptist Church.
DeFatta's pass is complete to Rowan Githiconda.
CML. Kate O'Neill, St. John Baptist.
That's a gain of 6. First down.
So DeFatta to Guthaconda, second play in the first series, nets the Flyers a first down at midfield.
Really did.
Also carried for 5 yards. This time DeFatta's going to keep it. He'll cross midfield with a nice run down to the Timberwolf 40. It's going to be right on the line to gain, and it looks like
he's tackled by
it is going to be good enough for a first down. So 10-yard carry by Cooper DeFatta on his second carry of the night.
First down.
I really like the play call so far. Like you said, they're using Cooper with his feet right now. When they walked up the linebacker, they recognized it quickly and threw the quick out to Rowan Guthaconda for 5 yards.
First and 10 from the Timberwolf 40. Fata again is going to keep it. Runs hard for a gain of about 3.
The ball carrier.
Make it 2nd and 7.
And see what they recognized right there on the first couple of plays, they didn't see right there. The middle linebacker waited a little bit, but you could see him coming right up the middle, and nobody blocked him. Cooper did a nice job of avoiding him and getting something out of that play.
So Barnes, Guthakonda, and Coyle in the backfield. Coyle's going to toss it back to the batter, who's got a man downfield. Touchdown! Flyers! 37 yards on the touchdown pass.
The pass complete to Grayson.
That's Grayson Hutchins on the receiving end. And just like that, with only a couple of minutes off the clock in the first quarter, the Flyers are on the board, 6-0.
Really a beautiful throw by Cooper. He led Grayson perfectly. Really a nice play design by Coach Sella. The throwback from Reagan Coyle back to Cooper DeFata.
Lorette for the extra point, and it's no good. And looked like the snap and the hold was a little bit wonky there, John.
Yeah, looked like Colin Lorette, who's a holder, he looked like he had a hard time catching that one and getting it down quick enough for his brother.
Great start for the Flyers here in the early going, a little bit of trickery. Cooper DeFata with the long touchdown pass to Grayson Hutchins. Great night here at Mesmer Stadium. Packed house. No penalties on the first drive, so it's a great start. Back to you guys. Go Flyers.
All right, thank you, Michael. Lorette set to kick off. Flyers up 6-0, 9:46 in the first quarter. And it's going to be a short pooch kick fielded at the 28, and that's where the Timberwolves will have it. And let's meet the starters for the Flyers defense.
First and 10, Darbone Woods at the 34-yard line. Question 29-yard line.
St. Joseph's Catholic School. Jack Ebar, CMO. Andrew DeFata, First Baptist Church School.
Patrick Gosley, First Baptist Church School.
Very decent. Second. Robert Pavel.
Weston Jones takes the snap and hands off to Alejo. Alejo looks like he may have fumbled, John. And he did. Fire ball. First turnover of the night goes the Flyers' way, and now the Flyers have it with great field position on the Timberwolf 33-yard line.
Really a nice job. It looked like that was Andrew DeFata. As he came through and kind of broke through the line, Andrew grabbed him, kind of spun him around, and as he did, the ball came flying out. Really nice play on his part.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So first and 10 at the 34, Cooper DeFata. Ready to lead the Flyers down the field for another score. And he's going to look. He wants it all in one, and he's got a man, but it's overthrown, incomplete.
The pass is incomplete, intended for number 4.
He wanted Jackson Barnes there, and that'll make it second and 10.
Yeah, it looked like Jackson kind of got lost on that pass route. That ball was really beautifully thrown by Cooper DeFata and landed right where you want it to land in the back of the end zone. It's been very difficult for a defensive back to try to make a play right there. But Jackson had a step on him. If he'd been able to see that ball, he might have scored.
So the Flyers trying to test the Timberwolves early in this one.
That's Reagan Coyle.
Reagan Coyle on the carry that time. He'll pick up about 7 and bring up 3rd and 3.
Really a very nice run by Reagan. They ask a lot of Reagan Coyle, and to go and get those tough yards that Trace Wall is usually getting is asking even more of him.
This time DeFata's going to keep it. He's got a huge hole. DeFata across the 15, one man to beat. He powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown Flyers! Cooper DeFata for 27 and a Flyer touchdown.
Really a beautiful execution right there. The linebackers had walked up into the A gap, and then as they looked back, they came back up, and it really left for perfect angles for them to get blocks on the linebackers, and Cooper did a nice job of breaking that outside.
So after the botched extra point on the first score, it looks like Coach Green's decided to go for 2 right here. And with a little extra effort, the conversion is no good. Coyle did his best to try to get that last yard, John, but he just couldn't push the pile enough. And the Flyers lead it 12-0.
You know, right there you might ask why in the world you go for 2 that early in the game. It's out of respect for Darvon Woods' field goal team. They make their extra points. They know what they're doing. So I think that Mike Green knows well that he wants to get every point they can.
Well, that was quick. We're back again. Flyers, great. Great atmosphere here at Mesmer Stadium. Even better was the left side of that offensive line blocking so Cooper DeFata could get down for another score. Ebar, O'Neal, fantastic job. Go Flyers.
Thank you, Michael. Lorette set the kick, and he squibs it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be returned by Hayden Gray, and Gray won't go down easily, but the Flyers finally swarm him down at the 31, and that's where the Timberwolves will take over. 1st and 10.
On the return, Patrick Gosley.
Patrick Gosley, first one there for the Flyers.
It's good to hear his name called. I mean, Patrick has been absent, with the injury for the first 5 games of the season, so it's really nice to see him, to get him back. I know the team's looking forward to him getting healthy.
Correction on the spot. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 31.
Weston Jones on the carry for the Timberwolves. He'll pick up about 2 yards.
Weston Jones.
Make it 2nd and 8.
Rowan Gutakonda.
8 minutes, 15 seconds left here in the first quarter. A high-flying first quarter for Loyola. They lead at 12-0. David Winkler, John Carmody, Art Carmody, and Mike Mitchell on the sideline. This time the Timberwolves are going to throw out to the flats, and he hits Hayden Gray out there, and Gray patiently waits for a hole, and he gets a nice gain out of that. He'll pick up about 13 yards up to the 46-yard line, and that'll be good for a Timberwolves first down.
Again, right there, the Flyers read it beautifully. They were out there. They just got a tackle.
Timberwolves.
First and 10, Darvon Woods. Handoff that time goes to Alejo, and Alejo pick up 6, make it 2nd and 4.
Right there, Robert Pavlik was kind of shooting the gap. He came a little bit upfield, so the running back was able to get inside of him. And that's where Darvon Woods likes to run the balls, right there in between the tackles.
5, second down and 5.
2nd and 5. This time the pass goes to Gage Godina, and Godina is brought down fairly quickly. Maybe a gain of 2. Wall there for the tackle for the Flyers, and it'll be 3rd and 3.
Really a very nice play by Casey Wall. He is out there on an island in that formation. They have so many people in tight to stop the running up the middle. He has to make that play. He did a nice job of bringing him down short of the first down.
3rd and 3. Jones going to keep this one, and he's got a first down. The Flyers will bring him down, but not before he gets to the Flyer 38. That'll be a gain of 9 and a first down.
Again, the Flyers have to be careful right there. They're walking linebackers and strong safeties up in there to try to make it as tight as it can. But, you know, if you get a kick-out block right there, the quarterback can go.
Handoff that time goes to Gilbert. Gilbert with a big run, and that's going to be a Timberwolf touchdown. 38 yards on the touchdown scamper for Wyatt Gilbert. And with 5:28 left here in the first quarter, the Timberwolves have cut the lead in half, 12-6, pinning the extra point.
And see, that's what they do well. They pull their guards out in front and get people out there. So if you play them tight like the Flyers have been doing the last couple of plays, they can bust it out outside.
Luis Garcia set to attempt the extra point. And Garcia's kick is good. And just as John correctly pointed out, their kicking game is solid. And they cut the Flyer lead to 5, 12-7. We'll be right back. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV.
Loyola would like to thank our corporate sponsors: Christus Shreveport-Bossier Health System, Home Federal Bank, The Wall Center, River City's Interventional Pain Specialists. Thank you for supporting Flyer football.
Welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. 5:28 left here in the first quarter. High-scoring first quarter, John. 19 points on the board already. Flyers lead at 12-7.
You see how important it is for the Flyers to shorten Darvon Woods' offensive possessions, because they do a good job of going down the field. So, you know, the Flyers have been lucky they got the turnover, but they're going to have to be careful.
Little pooch kit that time goes out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
So Darvon Woods will have to eat the penalty there, and the Flyers will have it in fairly good field position. They'll start on their own 34-yard line, it looks like. No, they're going 35, excuse me.
Loyola ball, first and 10 at the 35.
So first and 10 at the 35. The Flyers have actually moved the ball fairly easily, John. Kind of surprising considering all of the personnel that they have out and moved into different spots. But They just keep plugging them into different spots, and they keep succeeding. That time, Jackson Barnes on the carry, and right on cue as I'm giving them their props, we lose a yard. First negative play of the night, if I believe.
Reminder at
If I'm
halftime,
correct.
we'll have the Hall of Honor
Yeah,
and
sometimes
homecoming
it's better
ceremonies.
just to
We'll
call the
ask
game
all
than,
alumni to join us on the
The
field.
old announcer jinx.
Your decade signs. It's coming up at halftime.
So after the 1 yard loss, it'll be 2nd and 11. The Fatta's going to throw that one, and it'll be complete out in the flats up to the original line of scrimmage, a gain of 1, and that's it. Pavlik on the reception right there. We'll make it 3rd, and ooh, looks like they're going to
Gain of 3. Third down.
They're going to give him
8.
3 yards on that. I guess they said his forward progress took him a little farther than it looked like from up here.
Looked like they only gave him 2, but that's
So at any rate, it's 3rd and 8. Flyers need the 45-yard line for a first down. The Fatta escapes the pressure, and he tucks it and runs, and he's got a nice gain. To Fatta all the way down to the 46-yard line of Darbon Woods, and the scramble nets him a first down and a 16-yard gain.
What a great recognition by Cooper DeFatta. They were trying to set up a screen, and they were rushing the linebackers, but they also saw the screen. Really did a great job of improvising.
Great run that time by Coyle, who picks up 13 yards and another Flyer first down.
Really very strong run by Reagan inside.
So once again, the Flyer offense moving the ball down the field. 3:28 left in the first. Flyers lead at 12-7. Again, the handoff goes to Coyle. Again, a huge hole. This time, Coyle will take it down all the way to the Timberwolf 17-yard line. It's a 16-yard game, and 3 first downs in a row now if you're a Flyer fan, if you're counting at home.
Great block by Jack Ebarb, a kick-out block that really sprung that huge hole.
The Flyers with a little tempo here. Again, the handoff goes to Coyle. Again, a nice gain.
Coyle, the ball carrier.
Get it down to the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Make it 2nd and 5. This time DeFatta's going to keep it. DeFatta powers his way across the goal line. Touchdown Flyers! Cooper DeFatta on a 12-yard touchdown run, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Flyers extend their lead to 18-7. 2:44 left here in the first quarter.
Again, a great play call. Having Reagan Coyle lead up in there, and that's what kind of, again, sprung Cooper.
Lirette set to attempt his 2nd extra point, and this one is good. So 2:44 left here in the first. Flyers now lead at 19-7. And I believe we're going to go down to Michael Mitchell.
All right, folks, back here at Mesmer Stadium, Flyer defense doing a great job creating a turnover. Flyers offense capitalizes. Great job by the offensive line. Cooper DeFatta, Reagan Coyle running wild on this Timberwolves defense. Flyers up 19-7. Hopefully that's not the last time. Go Flyers.
Thanks, Michael. The Lorette kickoff is fielded at the 35-yard line by Chandler Gilbert. And that's where the Timberwolves will have it. 1st and 10, 2:44 left, and what seems like a Eternal first quarter, John, but it really hadn't been that long.
The teams are finding different ways to get the ball set at the 35-yard line. It's kind of interesting. We've had them kicked out of bounds. We've had the sky kick. We've had the dribbler, and they all seem to start at the 35.
So 26 points on the board here in the first with 2:44 left. Always room for more. Jones is going to keep this one, and he is going to be brought down hard. And there's a flag on the play, maybe a face mask. It's the only thing that looked like maybe from here, John. Wall on the tackle.
I don't know how they got a face mask out of it, but I'm interested to see what they call.
Well, they threw it right on the tackle unless there was a hold behind it somewhere.
But I will say one thing. They blocked that. Darvon Woods blocked that well. They blocked down the strong safety. Yep. The corner has to be able to make that play.
So it is face mask against Loyola. So Wall must have snuck his hand in there somehow when on that tackle. Great hit. But as it is, with the penalty, that'll make it first down and 3 from the 42. First and 3, a rare sight indeed, John.
That's 2 really solid plays by Casey Wall out at corner so far.
Again, Jones is going to keep it, and Jones is going to carry it across the 45 up to the 46. That'll be a 4-yard gain and a first down for Darvon Woods.
But you can see what Darvon Woods does. I mean, their offensive line is big enough that they are pushing people around. And again, just like the Flyers, they're using the quarterback a lot on those quarterback leads, and they're able to get a push downfield.
So first and 10, Timberwolves, just shy of midfield. Clock winds 1:47 in the first. Flyers lead at 19-7. Jones is going to hand this one to Alejo, and Alejo will fight his way across midfield over to the Flyer 49, but there is a flag on the play.
Tackled by Guthakonda and Nick Haynes.
Guthakonda and Haynes there on the tackle. Holding against Darvon Woods. It's going to bring that back, though, John.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's impressive that any official can actually see holding with about 18 guys sitting in the middle of the field.
A gain of 2 and a 10-yard penalty.
Flyers will take it for sure.
At the 38.
So first and 18 at the 38 after the penalties walked off. The Timberwolves back to the line of scrimmage hurriedly. And the Jones pass is incomplete. He wanted Gage Godina. One hopped it. Make it 2nd and 18.
But you can see him. Darvon Woods has thrown the whole playbook at him. I mean, that was a trip set out of that formation.
And they don't throw a lot. They do throw a little bit, but even their coach would tell you they have about a 5-to-1 run to pass ratio. So when they throw, it's pretty few and far between. That carry, they'll get it up to the 42, but they're still well short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 14.
This is a very big play in this game.
Flyers with a great opportunity to get the Timberwolves off the field here at the end of the first. Jones rolls out right, looks to throw, has his man Alejo. Alejo gets it up to midfield, but he'll still be about 6 yards shy of a first down.
I think it's more like about 5 or 4 where they're going to spot. It looks like it's 5 yards.
Yeah, they give him the 49.
I mean, this is territory where you can anticipate they'll probably go for this.
Pass is complete. There's a flag on the play, roughing the passer against the Flyers.
Did not see the flag on the play, but there is a flag against Loyola that's going to result in a first down for Darvon Woods. 15-yard roughing the passer penalty. It's going to move the ball all the way down to the Flyer 34-yard line.
Puts the ball to 34, first and 10.
So Darbon Woods threatening again here late in the first.
Like I said, that was a big play right there, and that's not the result you want to see if you're a Flyer fan.
No. Jones is going to hand off that time to Wyatt Gilbert. Gilbert will stumble up to about the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 4, make it 2nd and 6. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Your score here from Messmer Stadium, Loyola 19, Darbon Woods 7. And are we going to go to Michael on the sideline? I believe, maybe. And yes, we are.
We invite you to turn your attention to the field for our mini cheerleaders.
Or not. Nope, there he is.
Flyers look to continue their dominance here, 19-7, but who wants to hear what I have to say? Let's get the kids involved here. Come on. Good job, kids. Go Flyers.
Second and 6 at the Loyola 30.
All right, thanks, Mike. Start of the second. Darbon Woods has it 2nd and 6 from the Flyer 30-yard line. Hand off to Alejo, and Alejo will take it down to the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 10.
Alejo the carry.
Alejo, the Timberwolves' leading rusher on the season so far, John. You can see why right there.
Again, I mean, Darbon Woods getting a good push inside, and the Flyers have got, a 4-down lineman front. They generally play a 3-down lineman front, so, they're trying to combat that. They're trying not to give him as many lanes, but the Darbon Woods offensive line is doing a good job of creating holes.
1st and 10 from the 20. Alejo on the carry again. This time he'll pick up about 5 yards.
Alejo carries.
Deason and Gosley there on the tackle for the Flyers. Make it 2nd and 5.
Again, it's the same thing. It's just power football. I mean, all of the pre-snap motion, none of that matters. They're just playing power football.
They like to give you a lot of eye candy. Alejo again on the carry. They're leaning on Alejo a little bit more here in this drive. This time the Flyers are up to the challenge. Alejo's only going to pick up about 2 yards and set up a 3rd and 3.
You can see the Flyers are sometimes trying to stack their linebackers in strong safety, so it makes it harder for the linemen to get to where they need to go. And right there, it looked like Darbon Woods was saying, fine, okay, we're going to try to pull out and try to pull a guard and get on the outside, and really nice job by the linebackers and strong safeties on pursuit right there.
Another big 3rd down for the Flyers right here. 3rd and 3. And Tommy Tharp's going to take a little time to talk about this one.
We want to thank
And we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.
Federal Bank. The Wall. Loyola would like to thank our corporate sponsors. Christus, Shreveport-Bossier Health System.
You came home from work with a migraine. Your son has a sore throat on a Saturday. You need care right now. Christus Health has affordable, convenient, on-demand care because you don't always get sick during doctor's hours. Help is in the palm of your hand. You can reach our clinicians within 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Visits for residents of Texas and Louisiana over age 5 cost $30. Christus Health on demand.
It is third down and 3.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being
Third down and 3.
since the doors opened in 1924.
Jones is going to keep it, and he'll be stopped behind the line to gain. He picked up 2 yards, but he needed 3, John. And that'll bring up 4th down and 1 in decision time for Tommy Tharp and Darbarn Woods.
It was really good that the Flyer defense recognized when they split out those wide receivers that the quarterback lead was probably the play call.
So they're going to elect to go for it. 4th and 1. Alejo takes the handoff. He's got a first down. He'll get it down to the 5-yard line, and that'll set up a 1st and goal for the Timberwolves. 9 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Flyers lead it 19-7, but the Timberwolves are threatening big time right here.
Again, they did a nice job of blocking that down and then got to the edge. And again, you have to, strong safeties in the corners going to have to come up and make that play.
1st and goal. Handoff goes to Gilbert. Gilbert around the left end. He's going to score. Touchdown, Timberwolves. And with that, the Timberwolves will cut the lead to 19-13, pending the extra point.
Again, just like they scored on the previous one that went for about 40 yards, they're going to go out wide, kick out the cornerback, and then run inside of the corner. And so, again, the Flyers, the strong safeties, free safeties need to be aware of that, and they need to be coming up hard.
The Garcia kick is good. So your new score with 8:42 left in the first half, Loyola 19, Darbarn Woods 14. So John, we've had a lot of offensive fireworks here in the first half. More than maybe you would have thought, considering particularly the Flyers and their shuffling around of personnel coming into this game. You knew Darbarn Woods had scored a lot of points this year. They were averaging up around the 30-point per game range. But, you know, truth be told, Darbarn Woods, if you look at their schedule, they really hadn't played very many people you would consider, you know, top of the food chain type programs. Their opponents had a combined record of 16-22 coming into this game, and they hadn't played anyone over Class 2A. So you didn't really know what you were going to get out of this team. You knew what they had done against their schedule, but what was their schedule? And both teams have come out and shown that, hey, man, they can score the football.
Yeah, and it's physical football. I mean, you know, they're using their quarterbacks as the 11th player on the field, which is, you know, smart football. But ultimately, it comes down to offensive line versus defensive line.
That kick will be fielded by Barnes, and Barnes with a nice return across the 30 out to the 35. So the Flyers will have pretty good field position, and it looks like there's a player down for Darbarn Woods.
Barnes on the return.
And they came out there pretty quick. I cannot see a number there. Let's see, he's holding his legs like it's a cramp.
No, he took it was a pretty rough one-on-one shot right there, and I'm not sure which one of the Flyers was on that block. I'm not sure if that's the same player that came down and kind of was wedge busting on the first kickoff, but you know, they come down hard, and right there, that was a very aggressive block. and certainly hope the young man's doing okay.
John, I'm going to lean on your medical expertise here. I've never seen them come out onto the field and grab a player's legs under a situation like that and hold them up. What is he trying to accomplish with that?
It makes you wonder, again, if he feel like he's got his breath knocked out of him, or, he took a shot kind of directly. I was more worried about it almost being right under the helmet and more of a concussion type of situation, but it may have been low enough that just kind of knocked the wind out of him.
It's interesting because normally on pretty much any level of football, the last thing they do is get out there and start moving a player's body parts around until they can ascertain exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty violent collision right there in the middle of the field, and I didn't see a flyer kind of shaking from it. But again, I think it looked like he took a pretty good shot high up in the chest.
And that's Jackson Nolan, and he's going to gingerly walk off, but he is walking under his own power, so that's always a good sign. So we wish him the best and hope we see him back on the field here shortly. And after everything gets settled here, the Flyers are going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 35. Flyer offense, like we alluded to earlier, has looked really good tonight. They've moved the ball on pretty much every possession.
But they have to. I mean, Darvon Woods hasn't punted yet. They've turned the ball over once, but we haven't forced them to punt. And so the defense, Darvon Woods getting what they want. They're actually going down the field and controlling the clock. So the Flyers need to stay ahead of them.
DeFata's going to keep that one, run up the A gap to the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 and make it 2nd and 5.
Cooper did a nice job. The defensive end had come upfield, and as you said, David, he cut it up inside and was able to get 5 productive yards.
You can really tell Cooper's time at running back last year has helped him tremendously in his move to the quarterback position. And that time, he shows off his arm with a nice pass to Grayson Hutchins, and that'll be good for 5 yards and a Flyer 1st down.
I like that play. I don't know that the Flyers really have ever run that. They motioned Grayson over and basically into a trip situation. Darvon Woods was kind of slow coming over there. I don't think they've ever seen Loyola on film run that play. And so really kind of an easy throw out there, and with Grayson having a couple of blockers out in front.
First and 10 Flyers from their own 45. Coyle in motion. DeFata's going to keep it, and he's got a big hole. Cooper DeFata across the 40 down to the Timberwolf 37. That's a gain of 18 and a Flyer 1st down.
Really a great job by the offensive line to create that hole. The motion of Reagan out to the backfield moved the defense, exactly what they needed.
That time, Coyle with the big hole, and Coyle's going to run it all the way down. He's still on his feet, finally goes down on the 15-yard line. Big run, good effort by Reagan Coyle there. That's a gain of 22 and another Flyer 1st down.
I'm telling you, I don't know how many good things you can say about Reagan Coyle. He plays tough. For his size, he is as tough as they come. It was a really great run.
DeFata looks to the end zone. He's got a man in the corner. Touchdown, Flyers! Grayson Hutchins. What a wonderful over-the-head throw by DeFata, and Hutchins with the extended arms. I mean, he put it right where only Hutchins could get it, and Hutchins made a fantastic catch. There is a flag on the play, however, right at where he caught the ball. Let's see what it is.
Well, the one flag over here is because he spiked the ball. He did spike the ball out of bounds, which, again, is, if you're celebrating out of bounds, they tend to not call things, but I guess because he spiked the ball, they're still going to call that. Not exactly sure on the ruling how that is.
It looks like they got
Illegal man
downfield plus the
unsportsmanlike.
unsportsmanlike, so they're going to hit him with the dreaded double whammy here, John. And instead of a touchdown,
oh, the play should stand. This should be the extra.
Well,
that was after the play.
But it was illegal. The illegal man downfield.
I'm sorry, yeah, illegal man downfield. I'm sorry, maybe I didn't see the. Maybe I didn't see the first call. Okay.
After all that, instead of a touchdown, it's going to be first in a country mile from the 34.
Woo.
Flyers are going to need to get all the way down to the 5-yard line, so 29 yards for a first down here.
That'll be one you have to look at on film to see who was downfield.
DeFata going to look at the exact same play, and this time, let's see, did he catch it? Yes, he did. Looks like they got a defensive pass interference penalty, but it's not going to matter because Grayson Hutchins made a spectacular laid-out grab down at the 5-yard line.
Number one, I mean, to fight through the interference and make that catch was something else. Now, Grayson's so excited, he's running down the sidelines. You got to be worried about excessive celebration again.
32 yards on the pitch and catch to Fata to Hutchins. Make it first and goal. So the Flyers, after being denied a touchdown due to a couple of penalties 2 plays ago, are right back knocking on the door.
That was a beautifully thrown ball by Cooper DeFata as well.
Fata looks back. He had him on the slant, Hutchins, and Hutchins couldn't quite hang on to that one. Make it second and goal.
Intended for Hutchins.
Yeah, they're trying to reward him for those previous 2 great plays.
They clearly feel like Hutchins has an advantage there in the one-on-one. They keep giving him one-on-one versus Gage Godina, and Hutchins showing that he can get open pretty much every play. It'll be interesting to see if they slide a safety over there. Uh-oh, bad snap. And not sure why Barnes tried to give the ball back to the Fata right there, but he did, and he'll be taken down at the 17-yard line. Good job by Barnes to get on the fumble, which I think Coach Green would feel like is the most important part.
Yeah, and again, you got to be careful right here. Again, long third down situation. That one play trying to get Grayson a touchdown on the slant, even though it was open. Again, now we got a long situation. They need to make sure they stay in field goal range.
So third and goal from the 18-yard line. DeFata's going to roll left. And he's got a man. Incomplete, though. He wanted Barnes that time, but he threw it out of the back of the end zone, and that'll bring up fourth and goal. 5 minutes, 43 seconds left here in the first half. Flyers lead it by 5, 19-14.
Yeah, right there, I kind of wish that they had kind of rolled Cooper out and just let him run up a little bit because, you know, you really do want to give Evan Lorette all the yardage that you can for the field goal.
So Lorette will attempt a 35-yard field goal here. No wind to speak of at all. Flag down there behind the goalpost is dead still. It's like an official timeout here real quick.
I think the Flyers had to call that because it looked like there was a ball issue, but the play clock was down to 1 second, so I believe.
On the field, Loyola.
Yeah.
1924.
The athletic trainer for
It means
Loyola
surviving
is
and
proudly
thriving
invited to
alongside our
Christmas
customers
Sports Medicine
through the
Program
good times
conducted
and
at the Highland
the
Center for
bad.
Orthopedics and
Since
Sports
our
Medicine,
beginning,
located at
Federal has been part of
1455 East
Shreveport
Bud Coons.
Our roots
A reminder for those involved in the Hall of Honor, the
decisions
Hall of
are
Honor,
made here.
and the
That's how
homecoming
we define
festivities
Home Federal Bank,
to the
a
patio
better
area
way.
in front of the field house.
How does your bank
Carter
define local?
Ward is actually going to come out and attempt this field goal.
Please report to the area.
Carter Ward
field house in the patio area.
will attempt the 35-yarder here. Carter Ward,
Carter Ward on for a 35-yard field goal.
a mighty Southfield Eagle alum before he made his way to Loyola. And Ward's kick is just a little short. No good. And the Timberwolves will take over. First and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
So that was a big problem right there. Flyers going backwards from the 3-yard line when you're only up 5 points. You know, with a team that you haven't stopped defensively. This is where you need your defense to step up.
Well, it's an unfortunate series of plays because you take a touchdown off the board, then you get a big play, then you get taken all the way back, and then you end up with a long field goal. You know, a tough series of events for the Flyers, but now the defense just has to stand up and do their job. And on the first down play, they do exactly that. Alejo on the carry, and he will go absolutely nowhere. Make it 2nd and 10.
Robert Pavlik makes the stop.
Pavlik on the stop for the Flyers.
Really a nice job by Nick Haynes and Jack Ebarb to really tighten up that gap.
And the Flyer defense again up to the challenge. That was Weston Jones keeping the ball, and he's going to have a tough time getting up right there. Looks a little wobbly. Hutchins got there first. Deason came in along with a couple of other Flyers to clean it up. But it'll be 3rd and 15. And the Flyers, with 4:38 left here in the half, actually have a chance to get the ball back here with plenty of time to do something with it.
But really, you got to give Rowan Guthakana, he played that beautifully. Even though he didn't make the tackle, he slowed him up and allowed everybody else to come and clean it up.
3rd and 15. Timberwolves need the 30. Jones is going to roll right, look downfield, and that pass is incomplete. He wanted Hayden Gray, but he didn't get him, and it's going to be 4th down.
4th and 15.
So after an entire first half of not making the Timberwolves punt, the Flyer defense stood up when they needed to right here, John. And really, assuming we field this punt cleanly and get the ball back, did a great job of getting the momentum right back.
With enough time to potentially do something with it and keep them from doing anything else during the half.
So the Flyers will just get away from that one. Hutchins was back for the return, but thought better of trying to field that, and rightfully so. The Flyers are still going to have it with great field position here. They're going to be on the Timberwolves side of the 50 with 4 minutes left here in the first half.
Yeah, this is a big drive. I mean, the Flyers really need to try to distance themselves a little bit going into half. And, you know, that field goal, missing that field goal would have at least gotten you up by 8. And so, you know, getting past a 1 touchdown lead is huge right now.
Coyle on the carry, and just like it's been the case all night, a big hole for Coyle, a big hole. Be a gain of 8, make it 2nd and 2 from the Timberwolf 40.
What I really like about Reagan, he doesn't generally play running back, but he waited for his block and then he accelerated through the hole like he's been doing this all his life.
DeFatta checked down to Hutchins that time. He looked like he wanted Jackson Barnes there at first, but thought better of that and checked it down to Hutchins. incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Also, raffle tickets for Style Show will be on sale at halftime.
Handoff goes to Coyle. Coyle have more than enough for a first down, up down to the Timberwolf 34. It's a gain of 6.
Gain of 6.
With 3:23 left here in the first half, the Flyers in good position to put a few more points up here. They lead at 19-14 as it is.
And really a very strong run again by Reagan Coyle. Nice job opening that hole on the left side of the offensive line.
DeFata's going to keep this one, and he's got a huge hole. Cooper DeFata breaking tackles across the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Great carry there by Cooper DeFata. It's a 21-yard gain and a first down for the Flyers. There is a timeout on the field. A Flyer was down. That was Hutchins, but he's back up, and he won't even have to leave the field, I don't think.
Thank goodness Grayson was blocking and somebody came in and kind of took his legs out from behind. That's kind of play you can really sustain injury.
He is going to leave the field for at least a play there. Going to be replaced by Jake Black. 2:59 left in the half. Flyers have it 1st and 10 from the 14. Coyle again on the carry. Coyle right up the A-gap to the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 3. 2nd and 7.
Again, very strong running. Like you said, you're asking Reagan Coyle to run into the A-gap. I mean, really, small as he is not scared to do it at all.
It's like they're going to mark it on the 12, so call it a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8. Fata looks in the end zone, man wide open, touchdown Flyers! That's Casey Wall, I believe, John? No, excuse me, that's Robert Pavlik. Robert Pavlik on the touchdown. My old eyes are having a hard time between the 8 and the 9, John.
I'm telling you what, and not only am I happy for Robert Pavlik because he does a lot of the grunt work out there, but it was nice to see him get loose, and he does so much blocking that nobody was even with him on that play. Nicely designed play.
And the extra point is good, so 1:58 left here in the first half. On the Robert Pavlik touchdown, the Flyers now take a 12-point lead, 26-14. And are we going to Michael? Yes.
Back here at Messmer Stadium, I have no idea what happened because I went and changed shirts. Somebody scored. Evan made the PAT. Great job, go Flyers. Back to you guys.
Michael tricked us that time, John. He put on a sweatshirt, and I didn't recognize him down there waiting for the camera.
He'll probably change fashion every quarter.
Trying to make it hard on us.
St. Vincent's, I want you to join us on the field for homecoming and stand behind your decade signs.
All right, so the Flyer defense with 1:58 left is not done with their work yet in the first half, John. Darbarn Woods has enough firepower to easily go the distance right here, but they almost coughed it back up but got back on it. And after all that, they're going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 37. 1:53 left in the half.
Yeah, I think Coach Gerard Lewis is wondering about his outside guys running so far down the field right there. I mean, if he had caught that cleanly, he easily could have broken to the left and potentially had a lane to get a lot more yards. So the Flyers got to realize what the responsibilities are on those sky kicks.
1st and 10 at the 37 at the return by Sadler.
So this is going to be a very important couple of minutes here for Loyola. If they can keep Darborn Woods out of the end zone and maintain this 12-point lead going into halftime, you kind of get the feeling that their offense is going to keep scoring, and it's going to be hard for the Timberwolves to catch up, barring something crazy like a bunch of turnovers. Gain of 5 that time, and I think the Flyers will take that. And this is one instance where the offense of Darborn Woods probably doesn't do them any favors in a 2-minute situation. They're so run heavy that they're not really a big threat to throw the ball around the field.
It's interesting they're taking that much time off the clock between plays as well.
Alejo on the carry that time. He'll take it up to the 47-yard line. It'll be really close to a first down. The official did walk in about, it looks like it's about a foot short. And it's exactly what they're going to say. Didn't give it to him. So it's third and less than a yard. But more importantly, John, the clock continues to run. 43 seconds left here in the first half. Handoff goes to Alejo, and he'll pick up a yard, but with 20 seconds left here in the half, John, I think the Flyers will be more than happy to give them that.
Carries, Ebarb and Lofton make the stop. Gain of 2, first down, Timberwolves.
Interesting that they're not trying to push it down the field a little bit here.
It is. I mean, they seem content to let go to halftime.
They can't feel great about stopping the Flyer offense in the second half. It's just kind of amazing they wouldn't at least try to do something here. And that pass is incomplete. Maybe that's why, John. That was a fantastic play by Colin Lorette. Lorette, darn near, he was about one step shy of a pick six. And that'll take us to halftime. Your score here from Mesmer Stadium. First game here in 5 weeks, John. The Flyers look pretty darn good. They lead it 26-14. And let's see if Michael's going to grab Coach Green, and he is. So Michael Mitchell's going to talk to Coach Green a little bit going in here to the locker room.
Christus, Shreveport-Bossier Health System. Loyola would like to thank our corporate sponsors. Christus, Shreveport-Bossier Health System. Home, Federal Bank. The Wall Center. River Cities Publishing and Staff. Thank you for supporting Flyer football.
All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you hear me? 3, 2, 1.
Live here at Mesmer Stadium at halftime, I'm Michael Mitchell, joined by Loyola head coach Mike Green. Coach, one of the things we talked about in the pregame was, comparing the losses to the wins. It's really the defense that's done a great job keeping you in the games, averaging, around 10 points a game in the games that y'all have won. Tell me about the defense and who are some of the guys that have stepped up and played big for you tonight.
I mean, you know what, and everybody has to play well to have a good game like this. But all of the D-line, Haynes, DeFatis, rushed the quarterback some, Carter Doyle, Rowan, Decent, of course, has played, and Pavlik caught a touchdown, and he goes and plays linebacker. But they've all done real well. I've been very pleased with them. Even Gosley is playing a lot now, so that's helping us with the size up front.
One thing you mentioned that you nailed, frankly, in your post-game interview last week against Green Oaks, you credited the offensive coaching staff figuring out, I don't know how the heck y'all scored 30 last week with the piecemeal offense.
Oh, I know.
Tell me more about what you guys are doing to get some of the guys involved.
Well, they have, and Coach Seller and those guys, Coach Lewis, they've done a heck of a job. We've taken guys, and I don't even know if y'all noticed, a lot of defensive guys
Yes.
are having to play a lot of receiver, and they're doing a good job. Hutchins made some catches down there, so we are piecing, but that just there's a lot for the kids and that coaching staff.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, that was Loyola.
Thank you, Michael. We'll be back with a halftime report and homecoming activities right after this. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way. How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here.
The Reagan administration did a job with the
for the
State
LTV
Department.
halftime show. Flyers up 26-14 over the Wolves. Great first half by Cooper Nevada. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 through the air, including an electrifying flea flicker to get the Flyers on the board early. Michael, what are your thoughts on the first half?
My thoughts are, man, what a great job Grayson Hutchins has done filling in this receiving core. You know, typically he plays defense. Yeah, he's been known to play some receiver, but not as much of a role that he's used to playing in tonight, and he has stepped up big time. Great job, Hutchins. Also, what stood out to me is the job the offensive line has done. Kate O'Neill, Jack Ebarb, Andrew DeFata, Alex Horton. I feel like I'm missing somebody else. Anyway, they've done a fantastic job opening up the running game for Reagan Coyle, for Cooper. Great job there. Like to see a little bit more in the running game here this half to kind of, you know, get the clock going, wind it down, not make sure too many guys don't get tired. But overall, you know, I thought it was a very good effort here in the first half.
You know, I was impressed that the Wolves hung around for the first half. They had a chance. They stopped the Flyers. The Flyers got down in the goal line situation. Really backed them up. 19-14. The Timberwolves had a chance to go down and maybe get some point, maybe take the lead before halftime. I think a big key to the first half was the Flyers getting the defensive stop and the DeFata hitting Havlik for that quick touchdown to go up essentially 2 scores at the break.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So great first half for the Flyers here. Big night tonight, homecoming, also the Hall of Honor going on right now. We're going to send it back to you guys so you can watch the rest of the homecoming festivities. Thanks for watching the halftime show on LCP TV.
Well-being of children in North Louisiana, especially those children who are underserved. She has helped to open several school-based health centers which have provided medical and mental health care to thousands.
Loyola would like to thank our corporate sponsors: Christus Shreveport Bossier Health System, Home Federal Bank, The Wall Center, River Cities Interventional Pain Specialists, Thank you for supporting Flyer football. Loyola would like to thank our corporate sponsors.
You came home from work with a migraine. Your son has a sore throat on a Saturday. You need care right now. Christus Health has affordable, convenient, on-demand care because you don't always get sick during doctor's hours. Help is in the palm of your hand. You can reach our clinicians within 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Visits for residents of Texas and Louisiana over age 5 cost $30. Christus Health, on demand, because we're here for you wherever here is. You came home from work with a migraine.
It means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way. How does your bank define local?
Loyola would like to thank our corporate sponsors: Christus Shreveport-Bossier Health System, Home Federal Bank, The Wall Center, River City's Interventional Pain Specialists. Thank you for supporting Flyer football.
Welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. Homecoming festivities. Packed crowd, beautiful night, John, and the Flyers holding a 12-point lead here at halftime, 26-14 over the Timberwolves of Darbon Woods. Flyers offenses look fantastic tonight, John. They've got a bunch of new faces in new places, but hasn't seemed to slow them down at all. And Darbon Woods came in here 5-1, but as we mentioned earlier, I would say a little untested in terms of what their schedules looked like, and the Flyers' early tough schedule may be paying dividends right now because they look like the better team so far.
Well, the other aspect is that Mike Green entered this season with a lot of optimism because he had a lot of seniors, and of course everybody knows when you're a senior heavy team, generally the kids are going to be a little bit more developed, and you may have a better chance to compete especially at a 2A level. And so, as all these injuries have happened that we've already commented on, you really look to get past the adversity of the season, and that comes from your senior leadership. And what have we seen tonight? We have seen outstanding play by Cooper DeFata at the quarterback position. We've seen outstanding play by Grayson Hutchins, another senior wide receiver who's been asked to do more than what he's been asked to do. Gray Deason has had another great game at linebacker position. Robert Pavlik getting a touchdown, another senior. And so that's exactly what Mike Green would be looking for. Lean on your seniors to pull you through adverse times.
Well, I'll tell you what, the glue that's holding it all together right now is the Loyola offensive line opening up absolutely monstrous holes for Reagan Coyle and for Cooper DeFata, who time and time again, it's 3 or 4 yards sometimes before anyone even lays a hand on them.
And they're doing it basically against an 8-man front. And so to be able to create those holes in that situation, as you said, is a real credit to the 5 guys, and you add Robert Pavlik in there as essentially the H-back with those lead blocks. It has really been impressive. And when called upon, Reagan Coyle, and when they've had the quarterback leads, he's done a very good job of leading Cooper DeFata through the holes too. So, as you said, Dave, there are a lot of credit given to the offensive line. They needed this. They needed to be able to get a game where they could establish some type of dominance and really show what the offense can do.
Well, it's not over yet, as they say. We've only played a half. It's 26-14, and there's a lot of football yet to be played here from Mesmer. The Flyers will kick to start the second half. So Darbon Woods will have an opportunity to close the gap right out of the gate. Flyer defense really with their best possession of the night so far right there at the end of the first half when they held Darbon Woods. They had gotten the ball back with about 4 minutes left in the first half with a chance to come back and answer Loyola's score, and the Flyer defense did a tremendous job of keeping that from happening and then held them again there at the very end of the half. The Flyers are going to pick up a delay of game penalty coming out of the break here. Not sure what that's all about, but that'll move them back 5 yards, which at the end of the day is probably not a big deal.
That was kind of interesting that it looked like Darbon Woods was the ones coming out late to the kick, and yet somehow we got a
it had something to do with the festivities going over the allotted halftime time. Maybe they just had to stick them with a penalty there.
That might be right, David. I haven't seen that call. Certainly been into some longer halftime celebrations than that, but you might be right.
Kicks fielded at the 32, and fumble dropped again, and wow, the Flyers for the second time in the game nearly came away with a fumbled kickoff return. That was Hayden Gray that fell on it for the Timberwolves, and they'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 34.
I did like the outside containment kind of coming in right there, whereas on the last sky kick they were kind of running down past the where the ball was kicked. At that time they closed down much better, and again almost had to play on the ball at that time. And imagine that, the ball's at the 34. It seems like every possession seems to be starting within 1 or 2 yards of the 35-yard line.
At quarterback, junior number 8, Weston Jones.
Alejo is going to take the handoff up to the 39-yard line, gain of 4. Gosley there on the tackle. Make it 2nd and 6.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Excuse me, it's going to be a gain of 5, so 2nd and 5.
Really a nice job right there by Patrick Gosley, who's playing the left defensive end position, to shed his block and to get into that hole.
Oh, Leo dropped and the Flyers are on it! Flyers get the fumble recovery and take over on the Darbarn Woods 34-yard line. Great job that time. That was Guthakana who fell on it. And the Flyers, with a big turnover to start the second half, just like they had a big turnover to start the first half, are going to get the ball in great field position here. And, wow, John, up 12 already. A quick score here would be pretty significant.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Darbarn Wood's going to do differently to try to stop the Flyer offense.
Fatto with a little inside pitch to Barnes, and Barnes going to get knocked out of bounds at the 6-yard line, but not before he picks up 28 yards on the carry. Actually, the pass, excuse me. So Fatto and Barnes will add that to their passing and receiving stats.
That'll be Cooper's easiest pass this evening.
Handoff goes to Coyle, and Coyle just walks in the end zone. Touchdown, Flyers! 6 yards on the touchdown run for Reagan Coyle, and the Flyers take a 32-14 lead, pending the extra point.
Again, like you said, David, that's huge. You know, you get the turnover, but you got to get the points out of that turnover situation. And really, you just commented on how well the offensive line blocking. That was a huge hole they created for Reagan right there.
And the kick is good by Lorette. All right, and we're going to go down to Michael on the sideline. Michael.
Great job by the Flyers, starting off strong here in the second half. Guthakana with a nice fumble recovery, followed up by Jackson Barnes showing off the wheels. He's got some speed, almost got his first touchdown here on homecoming around the right end, setting up Reagan Coyle for the touchdown. Evan Lorette with the extra point. Flyers looking to add on to this lead. Exciting crowd, great atmosphere here at Messmer Stadium for homecoming. Go Flyers.
Thank you, Michael. 34 yards on the short drive there for the Flyers, ends in a Coyle touchdown run. Flyers now have a 33-14 lead. After the little squib kick there, Darbarn Woods will have it 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line.
You know, like you said earlier, it closed out the second quarter. It's going to be interesting to see if Darbarn Woods tries something different than what they're just known for doing. I mean, at this point, you know, being down a few scores, you might think that they might panic, but there's still plenty of time left.
This time, Alejo's going to take the direct snap, and he's not going to get much. The Flyer defense, as the game has worn on, seems to be doing a better and better job corralling the Timberwolves offense here.
9 from the 41.
And really a nice job by Gray Deason to get off that block. The quarterback tried to run inside of him, and Gray was able to hold his ground and grab hold of his jersey and sling him down.
Second down 9. And that pass is complete to Hayden Gray, and Gray will pick up about 6 yards. Doyle on the tackle, it'll make it 3rd and 4. You can see, John, even in a situation in the game where they probably want to push it downfield a little bit, they just don't look very comfortable doing that, instead settling for the short stuff still.
But again, that little out route right there, he had space to run. That's a really nice open field tackle by Carter Doyle to keep him from getting a first down.
I thought the way they handled it at the end of the first half was really telling about what their comfort level with the pass game. Again, short pass complete. It's going to be good enough for a first down and a gain of about 6 yards. That is, again, Gray on the reception. Looks like Gray is clearly the favored receiver here for Weston Jones.
Again, I'm sure that Mike Green would be, very happy if the defensive backs can keep the receivers in front of them, make them, complete it and get them down. But there is a lot of space, so a broken tackle can create a big play.
Jones is going to throw that one out in the flats, and he'll complete it, but it's not going to go anywhere, really. That's Gage Godina on the reception. But Guthakonda was right there along with Colin Lirette. Great job that time by the Flyers.
Really great job by Colin Lirette to come up and make that play, but it looks like Colin he came down on his shoulder funning.
Yeah, Colin's going to step out for just a second. Second down 8 for the Timberwolves. Alejo on the carry. Again, just really doesn't have much at this point. Gain of a yard. Make it 3rd and 7. Gosley and Deason on the stop. 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and the Flyer defense seems to be figuring it out.
Well, I mean, that play was made by Gray Deason. He's flowing well to the ball. That play really could have gone, and so Gray, get credit probably with a half tackle right there, and Patrick will get the other half. But really, that play, Grace is the one who really got into the hole and actually held him up.
A lot of razzle-dazzle here for the Timberwolves. Looks like they probably had to go fairly deep in the bag of tricks for that one. And it's going to turn out to be a pretty good play for them. One of their best pass plays of the night. Hayden Gray on the reception from Jones that time. And he's going to pick up about 15 yards, John.
Yeah, right there, all that motion, the Flyer defense got caught with it. The motion was coming left, but the guards actually pulled out right. And so, you got to be reading those guards. They're going to tell you where the play is going. And so they were able to get out there and get those blocks and get positive yardage.
So 1st and 10 from the Loyola 28. The Timberwolves really want to put some points up here before time and score becomes a real issue for them. Gain of 3 for Alejo on that one. Make it 2nd and 7. Pavlik on the tackle.
2nd and 6.
Again, they trying to run away a little bit from Gray Deason. He made so many plays, but look at the other linebacker, Robert Pavlik, right there in the hole. Make a really good play. And Rowan Guthakonda did a very nice job of staying right where he needed to be and taking on that lead block, so it turned it in for Robert to make that play. Hand off to Alejo, and this time Alejo's got a little room. Alejo
down to the 15-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 7 and good enough for a Timberwolf first down.
Now on that play right there, Patrick Gosley kind of got caught upfield, and being caught upfield created a huge hole right there for the running back to go inside.
First and 10 from the 15. Timberwolves threatening. Flyer defense needs to come up with a stop here. Jones pass complete. Left flat. Flyer defense again. Great job. Gang tackling. Gage Godina. It'll be a gain of about 2. Coyle got there first. Carter Ward along there with him.
Carter came up and actually slowed him up. But I want to just talk about the pursuit. Nick Haynes coming from the defensive end position to get a part of that tackle. Robert Pavick as a middle linebacker and Reagan Coyle at the free safety, all getting up there. That's the kind of flow that you need to have from your defense.
4:53 left, third quarter. Flyers 33. Darbon Woods 14, with the Timberwolves knocking on the door. That time the officials are going to blow it dead. Flag on the play. And let's see what the call is there.
Should be a delay of game, I believe.
Well, it was definitely a dead ball penalty. Yes, it is. Delay of game.
Penalty is delay of game.
That'll move it back to the 18-yard line and make it second and 13. Jones is going to hand off to Wyatt Gilbert, and Gilbert's going to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That was, let's see.
Gilbert.
That
Tackled by Andrew DeFata.
DeFata, yes, sir.
So
Andrew DeFata on the tackle.
I want to just comment right there about Andrew DeFata. What an outstanding play from the defensive tackle position. He came down the line of scrimmage perfectly, able to shed the block, kept his outside shoulder free so that when the running back got outside, he was able to shed that block completely and make the play.
3rd and 16. Jones pass. What's the back corner of the end zone? Incomplete. Really never had a chance at that one. The intended receiver that time was Wyatt Gilbert. And that'll bring him 4th down. And you got to kind of figure that the Timberwolves at this point in the game are going to go for this.
Yeah, I would imagine so too. But I want to say, I like the pass call right there. It was to the end zone. Really, gave the wide receiver close to a chance, but really Casey Wall played it beautifully and was in the best position to actually catch the ball.
Yeah. Great coverage there by the Flyers that time. 4th down. They need the 5-yard line for a first. Jones under pressure, and he's going to go down at the 32-yard line. Great play by the Flyers that time. That was Nick Haynes on the tackle. And the Flyer defense does their job after the Timberwolves threatened. And they're going to get the ball back with 3:49 left here in the third quarter, up 19.
What an outstanding play by Nick Haynes right there. Playing that defensive end position, he did not lose containment of the quarterback. And so he came upfield. He knew he had to get up in the quarterback's face as he went outside. And Nick Haynes is a quick kid. He was able to stay laterally and stay with the quarterback. Really, I'm really great to see Nick's athleticism on display.
Imagine we're going to get a big dose of DeFata and Coyle on the ground here. Mason Drake this time, though. Mason Drake on the carry. And you know what? With a 3-score lead and our defense looking better, Coach Green may decide, to kind of keep the tread on the tires of Reagan Coyle a little fresh with some football left to go this year. especially considering where they stand with injuries.
I'll tell you what, Mason Drake got his stripes last week against Green Oak, so I think that they have confidence in him.
DeFata, he's got Hutchins, and Hutchins catches it at the 45, spins out of a tackle. No, and he doesn't go down. Hutchins refuses to go down. Great run after the catch by Grayson Hutchins. He picks up 17 yards down to the 44. And the Flyers will have it 1st and 10 there.
Really a nice strike by Cooper DeFata, catching him in stride. And Grayson into the rest.
23. 23-yard game. I shorted him 5, John. DeFata's going to keep that one, and you know what? Just pretty much like it's been all night. There's just a big old hole there, and DeFata, just like Reagan Coyle as well, running hard, refusing to go down at first contact, and they're just picking up big chunks.
Not only that, but you see that little right jump he took in the hole? That was a really nice move by Cooper to sense where the hole actually was. Nice job.
9-yard carry by DeFata. Drake on the carry. He's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, make it 3rd and 1.
No gain on the play.
At this point, Coach Green, I'm sure, is content to continue to let that clock move. With a 3-score lead, clock becomes maybe even more important than score right here. Fata's going to keep that one. And again, Darborn Woods does a pretty good job of filling the hole, and DeFata's not going to have the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th and about 1. He picked up maybe a half a yard on that carry. So
yeah, I mean, they're asking Mason Drake, a freshman, to do the kick-out block right there, and actually looks like they're going to bring Reagan in right now. So again, they played it well. Darborn Woods played it well. Mason wasn't able to get that kick-out block, so Cooper really didn't have much of a hole right there.
Uh-oh. Ball's on the ground. DeFata's able to pick it up. Looked like a face mask, and he got it. It's going to be a Flyer first down, but DeFata has bigger plans. He's going to go down to the 23. Great job there by Cooper DeFata. He gets up a little gimpy, though, John. I don't like the way the hitch in his giddy-up. It's not what you want to see.
No, it's not. He's about as tough as they come.
Yeah.
So.
The last thing they want to do right now is go down their starting quarterback. And he's obviously limping. I'm almost kind of surprised that they're not getting him out. But they're not. 1st and 10, great play by DeFata. Coyle's going to take this one, and Coyle looks like he may score. Reagan Coyle to the end zone. Touchdown, Flyers! 18 yards on the Flyer touchdown. And the Flyers put up a 40-burger here in the 3rd quarter. Now take a 40-14 lead with the extra point coming.
Oh, the pulling guards right there did an outstanding job of getting out in front. Jack Ebar especially getting all the way out and kind of just leading Reagan into the end zone.
Alex Mitchell, the hold.
The Lee Red kick is good. We're going to go down to the sidelines to Michael Mitchell, All-State kicker.
Back at Messmer Stadium, Flyers cap off an exciting drive. Reagan Coyle for the touchdown, Lorette for the extra point. But what's everybody raving about? What they're raving about is 5-star holder Alex Mitchell. Great job at his first look at varsity action. USC and Ohio State are all over him. Great night for the freshmen. Back to you guys. Go Flyers.
The Lorette kick fielded at the 30-yard line by the Timberwolves.
Gilbert falls on it.
Gilbert's the one that fell on it for Darvon Woods.
The most effective kickoff of the night.
30-yard line.
30-yard line.
38 seconds left here in the third quarter. Flyers with a comfortable 40-14 lead.
And they're giving Jack Eberhardt a well-deserved rest after playing defensive tackle and offensive guard through the night.
Early means better treatment options and better outcomes. Mammograms matter. Make yours a priority.
Alejo on the carry that time. He'll pick up a yard.
I tell you what, that's what you like to see right there. There were 10 Flyers on the ball at the end of that play. That's the kind of thing you show on film and you say, we're in the third quarter, you're still up, this is how you have to play.
And with that, the clock's going to wind down. That'll be the end of the third quarter. Your score here from Mesmer Stadium. Homecoming night, and the Flyers have the best of it right now, 40-14.
Loyola would like to thank our corporate sponsors: Christus Shreveport-Bossier Health System, Home Federal Bank, The Wall Center, River Cities Interventional Pain Specialists. Thank you for supporting Flyer football. Loyola
Academic standards are actively involved.
Welcome back. Start of the fourth. Flyers lead at 40-14. John, I would imagine maybe we'll start seeing some of the Flyer youngsters get an opportunity here in the fourth. That time the handoff's going to go to wide Gilbert. And Flyer defense once again does a fantastic job. It's like Nick Haynes again.
Exactly. I'm going to single out Nick Haynes again.
Second time tonight, Nick Haynes has gotten into the Timberwolf backfield and made a play.
Not only did he come off his block, but he took the perfect angle down the line, again using his speed. It's not only athleticism, it's the intelligence of making the play at the right angle. Really an outstanding job.
The Timberwolves don't seem to be in much of a hurry here. Looks like the play clock is not functioning properly. It hasn't moved at all, although the game clock did. And it's still continuing to move.
The Royal Center for Plastic Surgery and Jade
There we go.
Spa have everything you need to repair the damage your children have caused you. Facials, fillers, Botox, and lasers can erase your worry.
So, John, I don't know which unit Coach Green's probably happier with right now. Maybe the answer is both, but is it your offense that has come out and, as has been well noted throughout the game, missing a bunch of key players, still hung 40 points on a district opponent, or is it your defense that, facing a team that's averaged over 30 points a game, has really stiffened up here since the end of the second quarter and done a fantastic job?
Well, you're right. I would say both, and it's got to be both, because when you actually look at the players that are out because of injuries, it's players that play both ways. And so you're having to plug holes on both sides of the ball. And you've seen a lot of players step up and play.
Patrick Gosley on the tackle that time. It was a gain of 4 by Hayden Gray.
Again, I just want to talk about the athleticism of Patrick Gosley right there. We just talked about Nick Hayne, one defensive end. Patrick Gosley coming off of that defensive end on that screen pass to go and make the tackle. Nice job.
Not a bad punt that time. And it's going to take a Timberwolf roll. Jones does a good job getting it down to the Flyer 34. And the Flyer offense will start right there, 1st and 10.
Imagine that. A yard off of the 35-yard line. Seems like every offensive possession seems to start about the same spot.
That's true. You could, on both sides of the ball, I think pretty much every possession tonight has started somewhere between the 30 and the 35.
They've been amazingly consistent. And as you said, David, substitutions are happening.
Yep, so Colby Hamilton will get his first run tonight. And Hamilton's going to hand off inside to Drake, and Drake with a nice run. Mason Drake, 11 yards on the carry up to the 45. Be 1st and 10 Flyers from there.
Really a very strong run by Mason Drake. Those last 5 yards, he had to carry defenders with him.
Hamilton again hands off to Drake, and Drake maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, and there's a flag on the play.
Looks like that's going to be a hold.
Holding against the Flyers will move it back. 9:53 left here in the football game. Flyers up 40-14. A successful homecoming night for the Flyers.
An 11-yard penalty for holding on the Flyers. It'll bring up 1st and 21.
Hamilton's going to keep that one. Hamilton with a nice run. Nice job by Colby Hamilton. He'll pick up about 12 yards on the carry and get it back to a manageable 3rd down.
Looks like there's going to be unsportsmanlike on somebody.
Flag. And you don't think of Colby as a kid that's going to be a big runner at the quarterback position, but right there he showed he's got some wheels.
Yeah, I give Colby a lot of credit right there. You know, he hit that hole and he was accelerating, and then he got to take on about 2 or 3 blockers, and he didn't hesitate a bit. If you're going to run the RPO, running's part of it.
So after the penalty, the Flyers have it 1st and 10 from the Timberwolf 37. Hamilton hands off to Drake again, and Drake will get stopped after about a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9. Basie on the stop for Darbon Woods.
2nd and 9.
Again, Drake on the carry. Drake's got blockers. Drake around the corner. Mason Drake looking to score, and he will. Touchdown Flyers! 36 yards on the touchdown run for Mason Drake. And the Flyers now lead it 46-14 with 8:36 left here in the football game.
Again, outstanding run by Mason Drake, but I'm going to make the same comment I made earlier. Jack Ebarb, unbelievable job pulling out at the guard position. He made not only one block to get him out to the edge, but followed him all the way down and made the last block for him to cross the goal line. 2 outstanding blocks by Jack Ebarb.
So Lee Rhett set to kick the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So 47-14 is your score here at Mesmer, and the Flyers can really start the celebration now. And it looks like Michael Mitchell is going to give us a little insight here from the sideline again.
Back here at Mesmer Stadium, the freshmen are invited to the party. We got Mason Drake scoring his second varsity touchdown, Jake Black getting some action as well. Grayson, what are your thoughts tonight on this game?
We executed well. We played as a team. We didn't stop, Played how Coach Green wanted us to play.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Good game. Back to you guys. Go Flyers.
Well, welcome back, Casey Wall with a touchdown-saving tackle right there. It was a great return that time by Doran Sadler of Darborne Woods, who brought it all the way down to the 15-yard line, and if not for a track down run by Wall, he would have scored.
That's what I was talking about earlier. You could see that was open. It was just a matter of time.
Narciso Valerio with his first carry of the night. He'll pick up maybe 2 yards.
By Lofton and Gosley.
And they're giving Robert Pavlik the rest of the night off. He's had an outstanding game.
The Flyers, substituting freely at this point. Just under 8 minutes left in the football game. Flyers with a huge 47-14 lead. Again, the big man, number 40, Valerio, gets the carry, and he'll bring it down to the 10-yard line and set up a 3rd and 4.
Valerio on the carry. Ball to 9, gain of 4, 3rd and 4.
The 3rd and 4. Handoff goes around the left end. That was Wyatt Gilbert on the carry.
Stopped by Casey Wall.
And Casey Wall does a great job of knocking him out of bounds before he makes it into the end zone, but that will be good enough for a first down. It'll make it 1st and goal from the 4.
Yeah, right there, when they get those guards pulled out like that as a corner, you really have to be coming up, because if they're able to get on that strong safety, and at that time they were able to get on Rowan Guthakonda. I think Rowan thought he was held, but once they're outside of that corner needs to be able to come up.
Flag on the play. Like they got Loyola for an offsides right there. Somebody must have been lined up offsides.
2-yard offsides against the
And with the half the distance, it'll make it 1st and goal from the 2 now. Big number 40 again. Valeria is going to take that handoff, but the Flyers, almost the whole defensive front is there to meet him. Again, great gang tackling by Loyola. And they prevent Valeria from going anywhere.
He's stopped by Wyatt Lofton.
Lofton gets credit for the tackle. Yeah, he had plenty of help.
Yeah, Wyatt really made an outstanding play coming off that block and getting into the backfield.
Again, Valerio on the handoff, and he is absolutely stuck as soon as he takes the ball. Who was that, John?
Gray Deason again.
That was Gray Deason, who did a fantastic job. Just came right through the gap and blew him up in the backfield. Make it 3rd and goal from the 5.
You could see Gray was walking up on that play, and they must have had a sin call for him because he was coming in like a lightning bolt through there. He was, if that running back wasn't getting the ball, he was still going to get hit.
This time Jones is going to keep it. He rolls out, look for his man Gray, and Gray's not able to hang on to it. A little bit over his head, and that'll make it 4th and goal.
So, that's a teaching lesson right there. Carter Doyle, who's played outstanding in that strong safety position, he still has that responsibility for the flats right there. And so he was coming up trying to contain the quarterback, and that's what left the receiver open right there. But Carter Ward did a good job of kind of playing both receivers.
So 4th and goal. Can the Flyer defense keep him out of the end zone? Again, he's going to roll right and look to pass. That pass is complete, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Timberwolves. That's Wyatt Gilbert on the 5-yard touchdown reception from Weston Jones. And that'll make your new score Loyola 47, Darborn Woods 20, with the extra point to come.
Again, as we said, that's same type of play. That person's rolling out. You've got to kind of get to that flats. That was a little too easy for the Flyers. Again, I know some of them are second-string players, but that's another good teaching moment.
And the kick is good by Garcia. So 47-21 with 5:20 left here in the football game.
Extra point is good. Your new score is Loyola 47, Darborn Woods 21. Thank you to our Golden Snoopy sponsor, River City's Interventional Pain Specialist. Loyola is grateful for your support. And the athletic trainer, Chris Campbell. It brings injury prevention and management to Loyola athletes on and off the field.
So all in all, John, I think
through our working relationship with
Coach Green has to be really pleased with this one after a slow start to the season. And, we talked about how tough their schedule was to begin the season, playing a really good 5A school in Captain Shreve, another big school in North DeSoto, who's currently, I believe, 6-1 right now. It was tough for the Flyers. They suffered some injuries early on, but this will be 3 in a row now, 2 in district, and they're tied for first place in District 1-2A right now with some really big games to come here in Mesmer in the next 3 weeks.
We go back to the injuries. You have 3 senior players who are currently injured, who are all 3 would have been integral parts of the offense throughout the season.
Great job there by Alex Horton. He jumped up like a wide receiver and snagged that one out of the air and smartly fell on it. Coach Green may have to give him a look at tight end after showing those kind of hands.
But what I was saying, David, when you sit there and you look at those 3 senior players that are down, I'd credit the other 12 or 13 senior players who have really led by example in these last couple of games. You could really have an emotional loss with friends of yours getting hurt, but to really go and do the job is really impressive, and we've called out a lot of those names tonight. I mean, the offensive line is littered with seniors. Alex Horton, Cade O'Neill, Andrew DeFata. They have done an outstanding job.
Mason Drake takes the handoff, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield this time.
Mason Drake.
That was a really nice play by the Darborn Wood defender there.
Loss of 2.
Looks like that was Kason Hicks.
12.
Yeah, that was one time where they pulled both guards out and nobody picked up the linebacker, and so he had free reign to the running back.
Take your pick on who that was.
I think the defense was off first. It's going to be interesting to see what they call. The defense was definitely in the neutral zone before the offensive player moved. Two defensive. Oh, my goodness.
They're going to call that on the Flyers.
Yeah.
I agree with you, though, John. It looked like the defense made him step back right there, which should be on the defense. With 4:51 left here in the football game and a 4-score lead. Thank goodness that's not going to be a huge deal to everybody but Coach Green, maybe. Hamilton's pass is incomplete. He wanted Jean-Luc Lavue.
Jean-Luc Love.
Love, sorry.
We'll get his name down by the end of the,
Darn it.
end of the season or the end of
Sorry,
his career.
Jean-Luc.
3rd and 17.
We'll get it right. Oh, nice play that time. Oh, Hamilton with a really nice ball that went in and out of the hands of his intended receiver.
For Holland Mars.
Mars is who he was looking for right there, and he darn near came up with it. Looked like the Darborn Woods defender got a hand on that one. But.
Well, not only he got a hand on it, but he made a nice play, and it wasn't until the next Darborn Woods player came down and actually tackled him that the ball came out.
Ooh, nice punt. My goodness. So that was Gray Deason showing off a tremendous leg, John. My goodness, that was a beautiful punt.
Not only was that a beautiful punt, but on the other end of it, again, another senior, Alex Horton, with a great open field tackle.
There is a flag on the play.
I think it's a push in the back. Looked like as he cleared it, I think he got a push on the back in the return.
Brought to the back by Darborn Woods.
Got him. Recognize that.
Put the ball at the 19.
So after the flag, the ball will be marched back to the 19-yard line. Excuse me, 18-yard line. So Darborn Woods has 82 yards to go if they want to put any more points up, and the Flyer defense would like to have a little say in that. Jones acts like he wants to throw it downfield, and then he just puts one up out of bounds, incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Pass is incomplete.
Really had no chance there. 4 Flyer defenders back there.
You know, it's nice to see Carter Ward's hands, though, even though catching the ball on the sidelines. Yeah. At least he was there if that ball was in play. Nice job by the defensive line to get into the backfield and rush the throw, too.
Second and 10. 4:11 left in the football game. Flyers lead at 47-21. Great run that time by Valerio, and Valerio pick up about 12 yards on the carry.
Really an outstanding play by Gray Deason. Gray Deason came up on a run blitz, and his legs were kind of taken out for him, trying to fill in a gap. He got off of that, got up, and still came in and make the tackle down the field.
Handoff again to Valerio. Valerio will pick up 4 yards on that carry and make it 2nd and 6. And it looks like once again, Deason on the tackle.
By Sipes
I think Bo
And Sipes,
Bowman,
Reggie Sipes also in there.
absolutely, and I think Bo Bowman was the one who actually met him in the hole. That was a really nice play.
Pass complete that time to Gage Godina.
Pass completed to
Pick
Godina.
up 2 yards
Casey
on the
Wall makes
reception.
the stop
Casey Wall,
at 36.
who's been busy out there on the boundary tonight.
He has been.
Made several nice tackles out in space.
That's exactly right. I mean, and that's the kind of play that you really, as a defensive coordinator, if you know that your guy can tackle out there, it takes a real load off and allows you to do so much more. And so Casey really showing his worth.
So 3rd and 4 for Darbon Woods. And that pass is again complete. Again, Gage Godina on, excuse me, that's not Gage Godina. That is actually Eli Red. And Red is brought down by Carter Ward at the 39. But there is a flag on the play, which is face mask against Loyola. And that'll bring it up to the 44-yard line. And Darbon Woods will have a first down.
Bring up 1st and 10 for the Timberwolves at the 44.
Valerio on the carry. Gain of 7. And I'll tell you what, John, Coach Tharp may have found something with Valerio here late in the football game. He's had some really nice hard runs.
Very hard runs, but I like again the way Gray Deason, way Bo Bowman are coming up from the linebacker position. Reggie Sipes playing strong on the defensive line.
Pass is complete that time to Zarius Sampson. His first catch of the night. And be good for another Timberwolf first down.
Well, Casey couldn't, I guess, be perfect. If he's going to miss one tackle, you know, Rowan was there to clean it up, but Casey's had a pretty darn good game.
Of 10.
Snap again goes to Valerio, and Valerio will run hard. He hasn't shut it down, that's for sure. He'll pick up 7 yards on the carry.
I tell you,
and we may get one more play off here, John, and that'll about wrap it up.
I'll tell you who else hadn't given up is Craig Deason. At the end of that play, he wasn't in on the initial tackle, but he got one more shot before the running back went down.
Jones pass complete. That's Eli Red, and Red fights his way down to the 27-yard line before he's finally brought down. That was
Pass complete to Red.
Carter Ward on the tackle.
Carter Ward
And let's see if Darbon Woods tries to get one more play off. They're getting to the line like they at least want to. They want to try to score one more time. And Jones is going to heave one towards the end zone, and that pass is caught. Caught at the 5-yard line. Wow, I don't know. I think we got instant replay, they might overturn that. But this is high school football, and we don't. So first and goal from the 5, go Darbon Wood. Now, can they get the snap off? Do they have a timeout? I think they did. So they got a timeout there, I think, to stop the clock. It would have stopped anyway on the first down, but they did call a timeout. They're going to try to tack 6 more on here to make the score look a little more respectable.
Yeah, I hate to mix sports, analogies, but I guess the tie goes to the runner when that ball, is trapped like that.
That looked like it hit the ground from up here, but again, no replay in high school football. One play for 6. Let's see what Darbon Woods has in store. Jones is going to
The
keep
same
it. He's going to
play.
look to the end zone. Fire.
Oh,
Incomplete. Broken up by Carter Ward. Ward having a nice second half there, and that'll do it for the Flyers and Darbon Woods. The Flyers with a big homecoming win, 47-21, and move their winning streak to 3 games now, and even their season record at 3-3. We'll be right back. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV.
Loyola would like to thank our corporate sponsors: Christus Shreveport-Bossier Health System, Home Federal Bank, The Wall Center, River Cities Interventional Pain Specialists. Thank you for supporting Flyer football.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport-Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
Welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. Your score here at homecoming, Loyola 47, Darbon Woods 21. And John, Flyers look pretty good on both sides of the ball tonight. They moved the ball. Obviously scored 47 points. Did it with a bunch of new faces in new places. And the defense looked really solid from the end of the second quarter on.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk about team wins. This was a team win. How many names did we call tonight? My goodness, 30, maybe 35 of the players' names. There were so many kids who contributed in a very positive way. This is the kind of thing, and again, when you look at film and you see people who can actually do things and plug these holes, it does give you hope that they're going to be able to put themselves together and compete the rest of the season.
Well, the Flyers with the win moved to 2-0 in district, and right now are in a tie for first place with Calvary. But 2 big games loom here back at Mesmer Stadium in the next 3 weeks. We'll be on the road next week at Lakeside, but then we'll come back for 2 games here in Mesmer, first against North Caddo on the 28th, and then the big one against Calvary on November 4th. Both of those teams very, very good. Be 2 of the better teams the Flyers have faced this season, probably the best teams they faced since they faced North DeSoto. And that football team's got a lot to look forward to right now. They're in the hunt. They're playing for a district championship now, and that's a long way from a 0-3 start.
Absolutely, David. I mean, when you sit there and you look at what we talked about at the beginning of the telecast, why do you play the hard games? To try to toughen up your kids, find out who can play. And what we've seen through this season is, aside from the injuries, kids are stepping up. We've seen kids who are juniors that have had to step up. Kids that are sophomores. We talked about the return of Patrick Gosley. He played outstanding again tonight. And we've seen even freshmen come in and start to contribute. And so, like you said, it's the reason why you play those tough games is to make kids ready. And this is the time to show that they are. And so the last couple of games have been the example to show that the team is getting ready to make a run.
All right, well, that'll do it from here at Mesmer Stadium. It's been a great night. Send the homecoming fans home happy. That's always a good sign. We'll be back here in 2 weeks for the game versus North Caddo. So be ready to tune in for that one. It's going to be a great game. North Caddo is absolutely loaded with some big Division I players, and the Flyers are going to have their hands full in that one, and we're going to look for a great game that night back here in Mesmer. So for our producer, Jack Brooks, for Michael Mitchell, Art Carmody, John Carmody, I'm David Winkler. Thank you for watching tonight. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. You've been watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.